Here's an instructional video on how to use green screen within WeVideo. Now for today's project, I'm going to just show you how the green screen works and how you can put titles over your green screen and a background in. If you're doing this for morning announcements, your background would be a news show. The green screen would be that of the student in front of the green screen talking and giving the news that day. And then the video 3 would actually be the titles. Well, first things first, here's my video edit. I want to click on the words my video and I want to change it. I'm just going to call it green screen test. I'll click OK, and that's helpful later on when we export our movie. Well, if you notice, I already clicked on this little plus sign right here and I added a video 3. Every time you click the plus sign, you can add a new track. The track can be a video track or an audio track. We're not going to add another one because I've already added 3 and that's all you need. But to keep it organized, when you click on this video 1, you can actually change it. And we're gonna change the name to background, just so that a little more understandable on what we put in here. In video 1, or the first track, we put a background. And in video 2, we put the green screen. In video 3, we're gonna put titles. This is going to help us when we're working within our project. Well, I want everyone to click on the star at the top left-hand side. That's our Essentials library. And if you type in News TV, you're going to get some really neat backgrounds that you can use on your TV show. Some have this green TV screen, which actually would add another layer. We're not going to talk about that today. That's another lesson. We're just going to have you scroll through here and find a neat background you can use. And I like this one. It's 10 seconds long, and I grab it, and that's a background. Notice I drag it into the background section. It's only 10 seconds. I want my video to be 50 seconds, so you can't stretch a 10-second clip. So what you have to do is you have to bring it in 5 times. You can bring it in, and then after you're near the end of your edit, if you need to delete any, you just click delete key, and you're good to go. Okay. If you notice too, I've clicked this little heart on the top left-hand side. And then it goes into my favorites. Notice I have a whole bunch of favorites here that I use. And uncheck this, and you go right back to where you were. Well, that's my background. What we would need to do is find your green screen in your media window. Because if you're using your Chromebook in front of the green screen and going to the open video or screen recorder button, you'll use the webcam, record yourself, and save it, and it'll be in here. I don't have any in here right now, but if you went back to the Essentials library and typed in green screen, you're going to get all these free samples of green screens. Okay, you can scroll up and down. I'm just going to find the guy talking on the phone. He's talking loudly, and I can take him and I can drag him down in here. If you notice, his clip is 31 seconds. So if your background is too long, I would just click it, put an orange box around it, and then delete it. So there he is. Now, if I hit the play button right here, you're going to see the background comes in because that's in video 1. We call the background. And now we're in the green screen layer. But look, the green screen and him take up everything. So what we need to do is get rid of that green screen. Well, we need to edit it. So just double click on the edit. Double click to edit it. And then click on the color keying icon. And then click on the eyedropper. And all you need to do is put the eyedropper on the green area and it goes away. I could click done editing, but look, he's right in the middle of the screen. Not the best place for him to be. So I'm going to move him to the right. And he's kind of large. I'm just going to make him a little smaller. Now, when you make him smaller, notice his legs disappear because he was only filmed there. So you have to remember to drag your clip down so he sits right in here. Then I'm just done editing because that's all I need. So now if I went back here, there's the background and he comes into the screen. Okay. The only thing we have to worry about now is titles on the top left-hand side right here. Well, a title would be we're going to put a text box in here. In with a whisper. I like this because it comes in really nice and neat. And then I put it in here. Now, when I drag my blue playhead over, notice all your text come in the center of the screen. Well, I need to edit this text. So just double click on the text box and you get into your edit window. Well, I'm just going to put the date. Maybe if this was the news, I'm just going to put Wednesday. And then 2/6. Notice it's still in the middle of the screen. I don't want it there. All you do is click here in this window and you drag it to the top left-hand side because I made the individual smaller and they're sitting here. You can do it opposite. You can move the person to the right and have the text to the left. Doesn't matter. But for this sample and this test, our text is always going to be on the top right-hand side. And I just clicked on editing. In that window, I could have changed the font, I could have changed the color, but I like this in a whisper. And now watch, I'm going to go take the text box, take my blue playhead back into the front of the text box and hit the play button, and there the text comes in, okay? And then he comes in. This is really rough, meaning there's no transition for the background and for the individual. So you just go to the transition icon right up here. I always choose crossfade. It's nice and clean. I'll put it at the front and I'll put it at the bottom. And then I can click at the beginning of my movie again, and the background comes in and the date comes in. And then he fades in. Okay, pretty much that's all it is, a background, your green screen, and some text. Now, if he was talking about, as we do morning announcements, the date, the leader in me statement, notice I'm moving my playhead, the birthdays, the weather, what's new at Calypso, I would just move my playhead to where the individual is talking about that, and I would stop. So let's just say right here at 8 seconds, we would have a birthday announcement. For birthday announcements, we'll go back to the text box. Sometimes the names are long, so I like to scroll down to the bottom here and get basic text. I'll bring text down to 8 seconds, but notice the text is in the middle again. I'm going to double click on it. Our text box comes up. Jim in first. Here you can change the font, you can change the color, you can change anything, but look how large this is. Well, first of all, I need to make it a little smaller. When you are working with text, try to choose the same text and the same size. Well, there's Jim in first grade. I just want to get it to the top left-hand side. And I'm going to click Done Editing. Now here's my text box, but notice this isn't a whisper in. I'm going to hit the back button and it comes in right away. So here's what I do. I go back to my transitions and I bring my crossfade in. Now if he was talking on the phone, and I'm going to play it right here, and it'll say, "Happy birthday to Jim in first grade." Well, at 12 seconds, he's stopped talking about the birthdays. So you just need to make sure you make that text box smaller. I'll bring another crossfade to the end. And then I'll go back in the beginning. And if he's talking, it says, "Happy birthday to Jim in first grade." And it fades out. So all you're going to do in this title section is put a text or an image to whatever your anchor or your person is talking about. I'm going to move it to 15 seconds. At 15 seconds, if he's talking about what's happening at Calypso and there's a bingo night, I'm going to go back to my essential windows as my essential window, and I'm going to just type in bingo. There it is. That's what I want. I want a bingo right there. Bingo. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this image and I'm going to put it down here to 15 seconds. But notice the picture's too large. It's okay. Just double click on it and we edit its size. So we go to the scale window here and we scale it down. And notice since all our text boxes in this edit are on the right hand side, that's where I'm going to put it. That bingo might be a little too long. I'm going to shorten it. We go up to our transitions. We put a nice transition at the beginning and the end. And now I'm going to bring the playhead back. So now let's say he's talking about bingo. He can say, "Bingo night, Friday night, come and enjoy." It goes away. The basic and simple gist of this whole thing is you have a background that stays here all the time. You have your green screen that goes on top that we color key the green out and we make it a little smaller. And then your titles just go on the top right-hand side. It's Wednesday, February 6th. Hi, I'm Jim. I'm the announcer today. And today's birthday is Jim in first grade. It will fade out right now. And then now he's going to start talking about bingo night. Come to bingo night. And then that fades out. It doesn't matter what you want to talk about during your morning announcements or any project you're doing. Just remember these three things. You have a background. Your green screen comes next. And then your titles and your picture go on top. Okay. Hopefully that was helpful for you. Don't hesitate to reply on the YouTube channel if you have any questions. And good luck editing in WeVideo.